All right, this is the video I am most excited to record because bluntly, it will be the gatekeeper or whether you win or lose an info going forward. And as of July 2025, because that's how important this one principle is, it will either make or break your marketing. And so whenever you see me on YouTube, you'll probably see me talk about lead to book, book to show, show to close, because I'm not in the game of making things so complicated you have to buy the 6, 7, 8K package that I offer, right? Super simple. This is not a pitch video. I just want to share it because that's how powerful it is. It's how we can predictably, my team can predictably go into every offer and replicate the same success, whether their niche is like super powerful or their audience is super nurtured already, right? It doesn't really matter because we understand this principle that can move those people along the marketing barometer effectively every time. And so today I want to talk about specifically lead to book, this first machine here. But to be honest, it is the same principle that will make or break every single one of these other machines, but you'll learn it super easily with the context of just this one system. Specifically today, Instagram DMs, because no one's really talking about it. No one talks about in the whole world of challenge funnels and webinars, and then going back to the book a call funnel, no one understands how to accurately bring those principles and what works in those funnels and bring it into these intimate DM conversations. But it also serves as the best way for you as an offer owner or an operator to understand these principles. So first and foremost, let me give you some proof, courtesy of my good friend KJ Rainey. Here's his CRM for the actual conversations. As you see, we track a bunch of shit, but most importantly, positive reply rate to booking rate. So out of all the leads we talk to, 23% of them book, which is insane, but it'll make a lot of sense when I talk to you here in a bit, okay? So first of all, what is the goal of the lead to book machine? The goal of the lead to book machine is to produce calls and to convert leads into actual qualified sales calls. And so the purpose of the book to show machine is to educate those so they become pre-sold before that call. Lead to book is about liquidating these people into actively engaging and interested in showing up to that call. And by the way, our show rate for this system is super high, and you'll see why in a second, okay? Lead to book machine. We're going to go over 4 principles here: building client archetypes, leveraging existing trust, earning the pitch, and then framing for urgency. And these 4, these subsystems of this actual larger macro system, is what tripled our number of book calls per day on this offer. And again, you see this is a 6,000 follower Instagram account, nothing crazy. And so if you yourself, an offer owner or a creator, have even 30, 60K on Instagram, even 10K on Instagram, you see how powerful this is, okay? Going forward, building client archetypes. So very first thing, what is hyper-relevancy? Hyper-relevancy is uncovering or getting as close to possible to the perceived problem of the prospect. The problem is, right, book a call funnels used to rinse, right? You run ads to book a call funnel, and now everyone's moving to this longer form challenge webinar funnel. And it's because, obviously, and you probably already know this if you're anywhere near the industry, trust recession. People don't trust shit anymore. I don't trust shit anymore. You don't trust shit anymore. You probably barely trust this YouTube video, right? Trust recession. This is what's costing all of us money. How do we combat this in a way that's not head on, but actually follows principles and makes all of our systems have a lift because of it, all right? We get to know perceived problems. The reason why webinar and challenge funnels, secret, they work better is because people need a lot more nurturing now than they used to in that little golden area of book a call. And so how do we speed that process up, speed that sales cycle up? And the real problem is that you as a consumer, especially if it's organic or paid, you need to believe that the expert or the creator can solve a very specific problem of yours. They get you closer to the goal. But it's really difficult because the creator or the expert needs to know what exactly problem you're looking to solve that's a sub niche of whatever certain topic they explain on their actual channel, right? For example, if you have a biz op, there is the skill of getting clients, and there's the skill of actually building the skill set to fulfill those clients. So fulfillment and the actual skill set. So both of these people, there's 2 buckets of people that believe that one or the other is holding them back from going and actually being successful with the business model. And usually that decision or that sell on that specific one or the other is reserved for the closing call. The problem is no one's booking closing calls anymore because they don't trust you. So how do we bring that to before the closing call, pre-sell them so that when they get to that call, they've already admitted pain, they know you can solve their exact problem, they've already seen proof that you can do so with other clients that look just like them and whatnot. So we're talking about that very first part today, okay? Perceived problem. Hyper relevancy is getting really dialed into their perceived problem and even sometimes perceived goal, right? In this instance, we're talking about B2C. If you ask any B2C lead what their goal is, it's 10K a month, right? So it's not very useful. Talking about perceived problem in this, okay? Building client archetypes. So, case in point, if we have a certain niche, so we have all these people in a fucking audience base or people that follow a certain expert or creator. You have all these people, like let's say 50, for example. You need to find out the subcategories, the sub niches within that niche that have perceived problems. For example, if you're talking to a fitness coach, some people want to shred enough weight to get a six-pack. Some want to shred enough weight so they can like be healthier and just eat healthy. Some are dealing with health problems. So all of these things we need to get evidence of, and we need to dial in on before the call and show value in those specific sub-niches. So first thing you need to do, build client archetypes. And now I'd say like it's usually around like 2 to 3. For KJ's offer was around 2. We had like obviously skill set, getting clients, but for fitness it can be a little longer. So ABC, you need to dial in on what are these archetypes, ABC, and build systems to sell to these specific people, especially in DMs where you can have those intimate conversations. So client archetypes, how do you do this? Sales calls. Get 5 recordings of your ideal client that are obviously a little spread more in have a good spread ratio in terms of their characteristics and traits, but they're still good clients. And you need to put them on loop. I literally opened up, when KJ's offer specifically, I had 5 Fathom links on my Chrome tab, sat there for a good 3 hours on 2x speed, and I wrote down on my doc every single thing, every answer they said to certain sales questions. So sales questions that uncover dreams, pains, goals, perceived problems. The problem is that you don't have a good enough idea, if you're not making money at least, you don't have a good enough idea what their perceived problem is, and it's stopping you from marketing to 100%, like 100% potential, because you're not marketing to what they think they need, which is the most important thing to get them on a call. You can shift beliefs after that, but if you're not meeting them to where they think they need in terms of a solution, you never get them on a call in the first place, especially in this era. So first thing, let's build some client archetypes, and that's specific for your niche, but go ahead and start building out what is a perceived problem within my audience base, okay? 2, leveraging existing trust, right? In these DM conversations, because every conversation becomes a lot more focused and a lot more replicable across every person, because we're asking these questions, for example, as an opener, hey, saw you follow the page, just doing this every day, every couple followers, because I want to make sure I'm doing what I can to serve you, just so I can help the best. Is it more focused on shredding weight or putting on some more muscle? Is that like what you're dealing with right now? As opposed to the traditional question or opener that's like, saw you followed, what made you want to follow? Fucking ass. That shit smells, dude. But our new opener is way more targeted, way more focused. So we get a very high positive reply rate to it because it's very actionable. And it rings a bell in their head like, hey, I'm dealing with this actually. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm following your content for, and I'm trying to figure this shit out. All right, they're already like admitting to pain. So building subcategories, and now we leverage existing trust. So I have voice notes now that I have every offer creator like record that are every stage in this DM architected sequence. So for example, I have that opener script it out, and I have the offer owner rip a couple versions of it, of whether they came from a story, whether they came from a like, whether they came from a follow. So now every time anyone hits my page, or anyone hits this offer owner's page, they have a custom voice note that acknowledges where they came from and asks them what they're trying to solve. And again, these are 3 or 4 voice notes at max, right? This is story, this is likes, this is follows, this is inbound messages, this is like dead people within the following list. Like, hey, so you've been following for a while, just want to do my part to reach out, do a couple of these every day in the morning, blah, 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 blah. Dealing with this or this, right? So we can start building these tools that, one, remove setter talent in DMs, but also help us achieve a lot more relevancy. Okay. That's leveraging existing trust. So leveraging trust from the owner, removing setter talent, or the need for seller talent, or reliance on setter talent by voice notes, and start maybe these selfie videos. Get creative, right? Get fucking creative. And then building client archetypes, so we know what we need to be saying in those voice notes and that content, right? Number 3, earning the pitch. So most people, their DM conversations look something like this. They're not relevant, right? Hey, so you followed, what'd you follow for? Oh, that's really cool. How long you been in this space for? That's sick, dude. What's your goal? Okay, what's stopping you from getting to that goal? Okay, if you were to invest, if we could get you to goal, how much money would you have to invest? Like, that is so not relevant. When you ask people questions that are the same ones that you could ask someone else, it's like a girl on a date saying like, you ask that to every girl, or you said some cheesy pickup line, and she's like, how many girls have you said that same line to? How many girls have you taken to this restaurant? How many girls have you said those words to, right? It's just, they get numb to it at a point. Your entire audience base is numb, and you wonder why you're not collecting cash. So you need to be earning the pitch. What does that mean? That means after building a client archetype, go and sit down and understand what is an effective conversation look like in DMs, and script it out. Literally script it out with these voice notes. All right. So for example, let's just say stage 1 is identifying what path or what, let's say, split. Let's just say for this example, there's A and B. What are they focused on? Gaining muscle, right? Or they could be shredding fat. Just a fitness, because fitness is the easiest, right? So our first opener acknowledges where they came from, so relevant there. I know your customer journey. I've actually seen where you've come from in my page. This isn't just a random message. And then 2, what are you looking to do, bro? Like, happy to help where I can. I want to serve you. You're looking to gain weight, or gain muscle, or shred fat. Oh, I'm actually looking to shred fat, blah, blah, blah. What are you looking to shred fat for, dude? Right? What's stopping you from shedding fat? How many diets have you tried to? Are you even being like, okay, this is actually pretty sauce. So after asking them gain muscle or shredding fat, you're like, okay, sick, dude. By the way, are you in school, at a job right now? Just curious how that interplays with your fitness life. But more importantly, I guess, like, what diets have you tried to get to there? So now we have perceived problem. Like, he could say, I don't have a diet. Or like, I don't know what diet works for me because I've tried XYZ, and none of them have worked. Or I can't stick to a diet. So now we have a very perceived problem after 2 voice notes that we can template. And right, I'm horrible at following along on this remarkable. I just do it because I think it looks cool. So now we have perceived problem. It could be diet, or it could be, let's just say, workout routine, to make it even simpler than the example I just gave. Hey, bro, all good. Happy to help with that. That'd be super easy. Is it more the diet that's you're having trouble with, or is it more like kind of the workout routine, what you're doing in the gym? Oh, it's the workout routine, bro. Like, I don't know what to do in the gym. It's built for the body I want. Got it. Okay. Awesome, dude. Can I show you what like we do for the guys in the exact same position, just to like help you even build a roadmap, what that would look like in the gym to get you where you want to go? Does that even interest you? Yes. Booked call. Done. Right? So now we're hyper relevancy. And again, we put that sneak qualifier in there on that second message to make sure if they're qualified, if they're in school, have a job. Right? But see how like that's a pretty rough example, but we're getting more relevant with every voice note, and these are things that are templated that we can use as a toolkit and arm our setters and arm our sales teams with, right? So it's leveraging existing trust and then earning the pitch, because we get all the information up front and we have a valid reason to help them out. Same way that in a pitch for a sales call, the same pitch after a 5-minute discovery doesn't work the same as a pitch after a 45-minute discovery, if that makes sense. So we're getting all this information because we have effective machines that do that within our business, and then we can pitch this call that's incredibly shiny with that person. Hey, he saw it came from a story. He knows I want to gain weight, and he knows that having trouble in the gym is a lot stronger of a pitch to a call than he asked me why I followed him, and now he said he can get me to whatever it is, the goal I want to get to, right? Now I'm answering a problem with pain. So that's why we actually earn the pitch, and we frame it for urgency. So the earn the pitch is doing all this work to get this information up front and earning the even validity to pitch them, because you have the right to say you can help them because you know their problem. And then framing for urgency is the way we frame that last message, right? Once we know it's their workout routine, we can say, hey, a lot of guys that I talk to have that exact same thing. No harm, no foul. Would love for you to hop on a call with the team and just kind of build that out, what it would look like for you in the gym to even get to that. I know workout routines can probably be the biggest bottleneck could be the biggest hindrance in you even getting to where you want to go. But in reality, it's the easiest thing to solve, right? So now they have this shiny call. We literally built an offer for the call custom to them. That's why the system works. Everything becomes a lot more shinier, a lot more personalized. There's a lot less trust that needs to be there because we've actually taken the time to understand their problem, earn the right to pitch in the call, and we frame the call for urgency. Okay. That's kind of the thesis behind this. This is our lead to book. Obviously, our book to show is a lot about educating those prospects. Again, qualifying them extra so our closers don't waste time, sending them to a downsell, sending them more free resources if needed, and educating them. I think I already said that. But lead to book is how do you make the most out of leads in your account? How do you get more of them on call? The problem is you're being ghosted. The problem is you're being left undelivered. The problem is you're being ignored. And people don't care about your offer anymore. All right, how do we build offers with machines that are specific for each person and their call? All right, hope that helped. These videos are, again, super raw, unedited, because if they're not unedited, then I never get them out because I don't like to edit, or like I can't be bothered to like train an editor and stuff. But I'm sure you relate. This client specifically, I didn't want to put this at the front of the video because I didn't want to. I want these videos to be more about the information value and not just like dumping a bunch of testimonials. But this client did 180 cash in 90 days off this Instagram account. So everything I'm sharing with you here is the exact principles we followed across every system, not just this lead to book system that got us there. So any questions you need, if you want that IG CRM, DM me. I'm going to send it over. It's fine. Any questions, put them in comments. I'll make videos about them. I'm going to try to do this every day. If I don't shoot me. Don't come for me. But hope this helped in any way possible. Talk soon.